All right, welcome back to our Classic Games Done Quick Remastered Edition. We are here doing Yoshi's Island Warpless, and I'm joined by our runner, Kolthor the Barbarian. I will let him have the floor and take it away.
Hello everybody, I'm Kolthor the Barbarian, and welcome to Yoshi's Island. The greatest escort mission of a video game ever created. Hope everyone's having a fun CGDQ. Thank you for CGCAF. English. Thank you for everybody for inviting me to do this. It's been absolute fun watching all weekend, and now I get to do it. Well, I'm ready whenever you are for the timer.
Yeah, just give me a countdown and I'll press it when you say go.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. We got a lot of things to cover real quick. You're going to probably hear me mashing my control a lot. That's not just for the fun and the hysterical click of it. If I can catch the frame that a text box loads, it can scroll the text faster and make it go away quicker. So, very important to spam buttons during this portion. So all the little Yoshis found a little baby Mario. Instead of eating him like a normal dinosaur would, they decided they're going to reunite him with his long-lost twin. So let's go do that thing. Now we got some more spamming to do. Spamming of the buttons also loads the levels faster, so at the start of every level you're going to hear me mashing my controller as quick as possible. For every input I do, it helps load the game about a frame faster, so we're just smashing away. Just going to go for a one-frame trick there. Don't worry about it. We're supposed to go down to the right, use a flower to get up and over this, but I'm not doing that. Grab a couple eggs, and go. Now you're always going to see me exit a stage, trying to get as low as I can on the gold ring, because the lower I am, the less Yoshi has to fall. And saves at max about, I think, 7 or 10 frames, but time is time. No, I assure you, I'm not using a voice changer. This is me. This is all me. Now we're coming into 1-2. This is where most of our warpless resets will happen, because we have to do a very tight trick right here to try and get up and over. Hey, second try. I will take that any day of the week. What we essentially did there was spit the enemy into the wall, and the one frame pushed him to the left. The game will naturally try to unclip things and pushes it to the left, and during that one frame it took the game to push that enemy to the left, its hitbox was active, which allowed us to jump on it and get an extended flutter up and over. Now we come to 1-3. For those fans of the 100% category, by now the player would have changed his controls, if they preferred, from patient to hasty. Warpless players don't do that. We do that here, again, if we choose to. Most of us tend to go with hasty, but the game defaults to patient controls. So, you're going to see me hit a text box coming right here. And hitting this option allows me to change my controls to hasty. Totally intentional pathing. What if this is the actual Yoshi voice? No. Wahoo and yabba-dabba-hoos that you all think. No. No, this right here is the real Yoshi voice. What's the difference between hasty and patient? The main difference between hasty and patient is with patient, normally you press the A button to start your egg reticle from appearing. So pressing A once does this, and pressing A again will shoot the egg. That's patient. With hasty, you hold down A to show the reticle, and you release A to shoot the egg. So it allows for essentially one button press to shoot an egg as opposed to two. Most speedrunners tend to prefer that getup, but you do lose a little bit of time technically from having controls, and some people just prefer patient. I know most famously Yamayu on the leaderboard, he prefers patient, and as long as so do a few others. So what I was able to do there was shoot an egg before that jar loaded on screen, and it hit as the jar loaded, it loaded above that platform. Normally you have to push those jars off of a ledge and they fall on the ground, they break. But since that jar loaded above the platform, we were able to hit it with an egg, give it a little extra height, and it just falls and breaks where it stands. Also, the key will always fling away in the opposite direction Yoshi is facing, so you probably saw me turn around real quick. That way the key flies towards me and not away from me like a jerk. Now we got Bert the Bashful. Bert, drop your pants for me, please. We have much to discuss. Okay, a few eggs here, maybe help with some lag. Now, Bert's death animation here is a little RNG. How many times he bounces around determines when he dies, but his pathing is unknown to us. It's just RNG, so he could take anywhere from about 2 to 5 seconds to die. And now we come to 1-5, our first auto-scroller of the game. Our only objective here, and we can explain a few of the fight. But the main objective for this is just going to be trying to avoid any red eggs or flowers. And the reason we do that is because the more more red coins and flowers that we gather, the more time we waste on the score count screen. Most notably, the first red coin and the first flower are the main ones we want to avoid, because that wastes about half a second, and each subsequent red coin or flower is about a frame each. So if you get at least one, the next ones don't really matter. But you want to try to avoid getting any red coins or any flowers if possible. You're also going to hear me throughout the game reference fluttering a lot. If you know Yoshi, he has a flutter mechanic. If you jump and hold jump, it gets a little extra height and a little extra distance. Does a little mid-air hover. That's what we call a flutter. And you can keep pressing the jump button again to continue fluttering. Now what we call a perfect flutter, you have about 3 frames at the top of the flutter where you can actually gain height, or if you're towards the end of that, not lose. That's going to be very important later. Other than that, we're just going to sit back and enjoy the sweet music. I might as well use this late night jazz radio voice or something. Little perfect jump there to avoid that coin. Bye-bye, Shy Guy. Thanks for stopping by. I get the feeling chat still does not believe that this voice... That's okay. I will do everything in my power to convince you. Alright, now that that super exciting level is done, let's please move on. Alright, let's see if I can... Alright, right there, you saw me do a little jump above the platform. but then I went in. I'm sorry, of the pipe. But then I went into the pipe. Well, what was that? That is what we happily call a pipe glitch in the Yoshi community. It's essentially we press down and jump at the same time, and it skips the animation of us entering the pipe. Very minor glitch. And most of the time, that's all it'll do, is it just skips the animation. However, there are a couple pipes where if we do that, we then begin a whole new category of 1-1 warps, where the game actually gets confused where we are and teleports us to 1-1. And then when we complete that 1-1, it gives us credit for beating the level that we were actually on when we warped. But that's a whole new category. I highly recommend you look it up if you're interested in speedrunning this game. It's a very fun category. No person resonates like that? I disagree. There probably is a little bit of an audio delay. This technology is not perfect. But we do the best we can with what we have. Alright, 1-7 is a classic Yoshi's Island level, where we get to meet Fuzzy. Hopefully we don't get to, as I was saying, hopefully we don't get to interact with Fuzzy, but you know what, Yoshi's feeling a little 70s today. So he needs a little medicine to help get him through the rest of this run. But we keep our Fuzzy limit to a minimal. Can't abuse Fuzzy. It's only weaponized airborne LSD in cloud form. What could go wrong? Now we come to 1-8. Salvo the Slime. Fairly straightforward level. Got some cool egg shots coming up. The screen after this one is, in particular, one of my favorite screens of the game. Just because it looks so nice when done well. Lock in an egg. Shoot the off-screen switch. Grab the key. And get out of dodge. Almost perfect, but still, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, now Salvo is a little tricky. We just have to shoot enough eggs into him to pull him down to as tiny a blob as possible. But his movements can be a little odd. If he moves just perfect, and our egg shots go just perfect, we can one-cycle him before he has a few invincibility frames. So I always go for it just because we usually get a little extra damage out of him, but let's hope for a one-cycle. Hey, buddy. That's not a one-cycle. Not the worst fight ever. I'll take it. Sub 13, World 1, that's decent. And now we've completed World 1. We've got 5 more to go. 8 levels apiece. Moving right along. Not only is Yoshi taking his baby and running, but he might also be running. It's almost the start of the new year. Don't let him on where Yoshi is, everybody. I need chat to keep hush on where Yoshi's at all times. They're hot on our tail, so if we can maybe get to Bowser, the old tax man will just leave us be. Yoshi's got a bad history with him. Alright, now we're going to try a little trickier pipe glitch here. Now this one, instead of entering us into the same pipe as you saw us definitely not mess up before, this actually takes us to the next screen, which was the entrance right above us. This and in 2.8 we use kind of a similar technique to just advance us to the next screen. Pipe glitch is a very, very valuable tool. Alright, go up and over. Normally we have to wait for those blocks, but we're just gonna hop on over them. You all couldn't hear it, but put the little voice in like repeat what he was trying to say. Where are we? Hopefully that's a little better. Alright, 2-2. Where runs go to die. I say that about a lot of levels, but this, in particular, is one of those levels. There you go. Come on. Alright, so we're gonna take this toady with us. We're gonna use him to get up and over this post, and this saves a ton of time. Normally you'd have to go down and around and grab a Super Mario star, run around. It's probably at least a 30-second save right there, getting over that post. And yeah, that trick of trying to get up on that level, that's one of the reasons this level is probably the toughest early game level. Like, probably in the first 3 worlds, this is by far the toughest level. There's just so many very tight tricks that save an awful lot of time. If you don't get them, it's almost not even worth continuing if you're higher on the leaderboard. Oh yes, another thing worth mentioning, unlike a lot of Mario games, slopes do decelerate Yoshi. So you're going to see me hopping a lot, trying to jump over slopes and down slopes and up hills, because I don't want to run across them, unlike in Mario 3 where you can just keep running horizontally and it doesn't matter the slope of the ground that you're on. It does matter in Yoshi's Island. What does Gusty taste like? That's the question of this level. What does this flying trash bag with a face taste like? What does death taste like? I think is the more important question. I think Gusty tastes so bad that we just needed to throw ourselves into the nearest pit just to cleanse the palate. I think we need a fresh look at things. Alright. Get some nice egg shots, get through this foam. And look, it's Super Baby Mario. for the last star. That's good. A really good Super Baby Mario, you get to clear that foam, but that's still really good. This is your favorite childhood game? Excellent choice, JB5216. Excellent choice. After talking to a fan and the wind and dust blew into your mouth. That's possible. That could be what Gusty tastes like. I always imagine Gusty tastes like uncooked spaghetti. Alright, now we're going to do a little trick here. Gate hack. Normally, you're not supposed to go that direction. But because of a nice little trick where if you shoot an egg upward, but you only tap up instead of hold up, the egg actually travels slightly backwards. So we do that by pushing ourselves as far as we can into that gate. And in about a 7-frame window, we shoot that egg, and it actually travels backwards to open up the gate for us. Very handy. Don't look now, but I think there's something spooping behind us. Nice. Now we want to be careful there. We want to try to the coins and stars that we make from our eggs, because then the fewer of them that are around, the less lag there'll be as these explode. Oh, that reminds me, I should explain eggs. So the green eggs we get by default is just our regular ammunition. We shoot them, they hit things. It's awesome. But as we ricochet eggs off of and have first bounce will turn a green egg into a yellow egg. A second bounce will turn that yellow egg into a red egg. Yellow eggs, when they hit something, will give us a coin. Red eggs will give us 2 stars. Now, we don't care about stars for Warpless, more or less, but that is very important. Other categories like 100%. Yeah, sure, that's correct. Normally we try to avoid those mid-rings, because they do waste time as they tick up our stars. But the occasional accidental ring isn't gonna... And for the sake of marathons, sometimes we do tend to grab the odd ring or there right before a risky section. Yes, shell jump is a thing, and you're going to see quite a bit of it throughout this. It's not just in Mario Maker. Yoshi did it first. So technically Super Mario World did it first, but... I'm just gonna say Yoshi did it first, and you're all gonna blindly accept that not fact, so... Now I want to be mindful of my egg count through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect, okay. When I finish this level, I want exactly 4 eggs. Because that's going to set me up nicely for the next stage. We're going to be doing a nice little trick in the next stage where we actually intentionally make a lot of stars and do what we call a sprite overload. Because stars don't despawn when they go off screen, the game only has so much memory to work with, so we're going to create a lot of sprites and despawn some obstacles that are in our way so we can circumvent having to go into a door. there's going to be 2 bullet bill cannons at a certain point on the first screen. And I'll point out where they are as we cross through. But we're going to create a lot of sprites and try to despawn them. So we're going to grab this big egg. And this big egg, when we fire it, makes a hole, turns all the enemies on screen into stars. And right here, right in that little gap, that's where we despawn. Yeah. Grab you. I'll try to load up on eggs before 2-8. We're just gonna go up and over and skip that transformation. No swag car for us today, thank you very much. It's only about a 7-second loss if you accidentally. I want my 7 seconds. I'm not giving them up for free. Easy peasy. Now, in the warps category, going back to a little trick where we can pass one of those big eggs onto the next Yoshi in a little trick we like to call a Baxter. Normally a Baxter is just for swag and just to look cool. But if you can actually pass a loose egg onto the next oncoming Yoshi, and we'll see it in a couple. I'll give it a try here and there. But it actually does have a purpose for some categories. Another pipe glitch here. That takes us to the next screen. Now 2-8, I think is definitely one of the more technical dungeons in the game. It's actually one of... For a brief moment in time when I decided I knew this one, I had to do this one. Grab you. You don't want Mario Karts for life. Whoops. Overspit our Shy Guy just a tad. Yo, what up, Chuck 420 and Metal Llama? That was... that could have bounced, but okay. Hey, good donut. Good cookie. Everybody whisper Crispy22 and make sure to tell them that it's called a cookie, not an arrow. Oh, I guess he's Crispy Speedruns now. Everybody find Crispy Speedruns, tell them it's... Alright, now we come to Roger the Ghost. Where's the ghost? Oh, there's the ghost. Pretty simple fight. The only danger he really poses is fire. With careful timing of a little back forward there, we shouldn't have to worry about fire at all for the rest of the fight. Just keep pushing. And now if we do a quick little look up and jump, we can actually kill him sooner by scrolling the screen up. Because it's not the bottom of the stage where he died, it's the bottom of the screen. So lifting the screen up kills him sooner. Yo, Basement Hero, thank you so much, and avoid W to you as well. Hope everybody's enjoying this so far. We're having a pretty decent run going here. One minor death, nothing to worry about. We're still on a good pace. Yoshi's tongue is nice and long, and I can't wait to... Alright, now we enter the Den of the Monkeys. I actually have no idea what this level's actually called. Monkey see, monkey, monkey is guaranteed Japanese direct translation. Monkeys in the first stage are pretty dormant, but as we get further along, they can actually call you horrible, horrible things. Hey. They also do things like make me not land on... Oh, you silly monkeys, you. Wait, not that one. Did you guys know that there's actually a Yoshi's Island Dark All World 3? No, Troy Board, we're not doing any wrong warps. This is the Warpless canon. Hence, sans the warp. Negative warps. Oh, bad. Oh, bad Baby Mario. By the way, shoutouts to Nintendo. As a recent as a man who has become a exactly about 17 months ago, Nintendo absolutely 100% nailed the crying baby voice. 100% nailed it. That is 100% crying baby noise. It's got the right inflection, it's got that right up down of the volume, it is dead on crying baby. Oh, thank you, Metar. Alright, now we come to Neppy Nut's domain. Neppy Nut, the names of those big blue guys, is, I forget what the grammatical term for this kind of word is, but spell it backwards is actually Nept. Now we're going to do a new trick, a relatively newer trick on this screen. Shouts to the Japanese runner Poor for devising this strat. We're going to grab this monkey. Normally we would go over to the right and take a helicopter bubble through this, but we're gonna... clip right through here using the monkey. Nice, that was only second try. So like 3 tries to spin it, so that's about a 6 second save. So I think we saved a little bit of time there. Damn you torpedoes. Normally the torpedoes behave themselves with a slight bit of RNG, and they will sometimes betray you and fly off in seemingly random direction or chase the wrong enemy. That's like that. Did you really have to circle around and hit that fish in the butt? Now we need to be very careful of our egg count. Going for a certain strat in the next stage. We grab that red egg. We're gonna try. We'll load up on eggs here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cycle one. We actually go downstairs a little faster while. Now if you notice where the red egg is, it's second to next spot. Or sorry, third to next spot. We'll shoot one. Now it's second to next. Grab one, swallow one, now our red egg. We've got a full complement of 6 eggs, which is the maximum you can hold, and our red egg is next in line. Now, you know how I said normally we try to avoid stars, and we want as few of them as possible, but in the next stage, there is a checkpoint ring that we have to take. And a checkpoint ring gives us 10 stars, or up to a max of 30. So using this red egg and other techniques throughout the stage, we're trying to get as many stars as we can. So that by the time we get to the middle ring, hopefully we'll have stars in the 20s, and it won't take as long through it. A little duck there. Oh, I want my baby. I want my baby. Cycle twice. Cycle again, put the red egg in the back. My mic is cutting? Oh. Thought I fixed that. Well, we'll try to resolve that during the trans. Hang tight, everybody. Sorry about the mic cutting. Really? Okay. Alright. Alright, hopefully that's a little better. Alright, now we come to Prince Froggy. Now, Kamek normally uses his magic on the boss. This time, we're the ones changing size. Uh-oh. Now, this fight has taken a lot of changes over the course of speedrun history. Through a lot of Yoshi science, largely reading the quick, we found out that this is not a simple just hit him X number of times kind of boss. This boss actually has hit points, and the most optimal way to fight him is to shoot your egg at a 45-degree angle from as far away as possible. And we got a 5-shot. Normally that fight used to be a 7-shot fight, maybe a 6 if you were lucky. And now we've turned it into at least a guaranteed 6 with a maybe 5. So that was an excellent, excellent fight. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 5-shot Froggy. And Yoshi is forever scarred emotionally, physically, and he's just gonna pass the baby on to the next Yoshi, and he's gonna... Well, goodbye, Yellow Yoshi. Get well, friend. Alright, moving on right quick. Grab a couple eggs. Run and gun. Up and over. Almost died? No, what are you talking about? Oh, no. Intentional fluttering. Alright. Monkey. Mario. Alright. Cut my jump a little short there. Trying to stay out of the air as long. So you try to end as far to the left on platforms as possible, but sometimes that backfires if you're off by a few pixels. 11 a.m. gang, right here. Shoutouts to 11 p.m. Brain. Don't try to speedrun and think at the same time. It doesn't work out too well. Alright, we're trying to grab this key. Beautiful. Shoot the hedgehog. Goodbye, Sonic. And we're taking the Dune route. Off the... backup mouse is best mouse. Alright. Coming up 3-7 is one of my favorites. And it really shouldn't be, because it's so RNG heavy. So, normally Yoshi's Island is very low RNG. But one of the big RNG factors of this game, besides a few boss patterns, are fish. Little red fish that jump out of the water. Where and when they jump up is RNG. We don't completely understand it or why, but it's just, we just chalk it up to RNG. So, a little bit later on this screen, I'm gonna pray for good fish RNG and see if we can cleanly get across the pond. And that was the absolute best RNG I could have hoped for, and I never see it in a run. Oh my god, I didn't have to fall. That, oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I'm having a moment here. Oh, sorry, that was just, Thank god I brought a towel. Ooh. Alright, let's see if we can despawn a door. Aw, dang it. I was trying to do a stupid little trick where we despawn the door on the off the fish, and go. I have 6 eggs, I should have 6 eggs. 2, 4, 5, 6, perfect. We need a full complement of eggs going in. We're still having mic issues, or is it a little better? Let people tell me. A little bit better? Alright, let's crank it up a little higher. A little higher. Okay. The tongue here, clip through. Alright, we're gonna grab the marathon amount of a... Normally for speedrun, you'd only grab maybe like 1 or 2 eggs, but I grabbed the full 4. I don't feel like dealing with the boss later. Now the true boss of the stage. Whew, and we're through. That green plant is the true boss. If you hit them, you have some frames to clip through them without taking damage. Alright, now for possibly the hardest boss fight in all of Yoshi. And he's dead. Oh my. Developer intended boss shortcut. Developer intended. Let's see if we can speed run change our settings. Alright, welcome to the back half of Yoshi. Now it's 4-1, we come to our second, 2 of 3 fuzzy levels. This is probably the most dangerous of the fuzzy screens. I'm gonna really try to avoid getting fuzzied here, because, it's those little platforms we jump on while we're fuzzied. You'll notice the landscape wavers and a bit. Well, it's actually possible for us to clip right through the floor, so very dangerous on very small platforms. Try to avoid it as best we could, but we took a little fuzzy to the face. Happens to the best of us. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna. Okay, I quit what you done. Just go in. Alright. Quick fire. Egg, go. We got Lakitus and walls, people. It's a strange day to be alive. We're just running and gunning through most of the screen. Very short level. We're actually already on the last screen. And we do 3 tongues here. That slows us down perfectly to land through that ledge, and hopefully here we'll demonstrate a Baxter. Oh. Well, the idea was to throw that yellow egg to the blue Yoshi, but that's alright. We'll try again later. Okay, good. Alright, 4-3. Some Yoshers think this is their favorite level. And I'm not going to tell them they're wrong, but they're wrong. Tried to go for the cool shell jump. Shoot you out, get out of my way. Whoa. Bad things are happening, bad things are happening. It's fine. Right, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. And we're gonna move on. peaceful night. Keeping calm all the time is especially hard for a barbarian in Calderon. We tend to rage and throw things and scream loudly, but we'll keep our composure today. Alright. 4-4 might be the longest dungeon in the game. It's a very cool dungeon. Oh, is it tough? Goodbye, Chomp Chomp. Let's get these stairs and get into the real meat of this dungeon. So this dungeon is divided into 4 sections. 4 doors that lead to 4 areas to get 4 keys. Lots of places to die, lots of places to lose time, but we're gonna do good. That was actually really nice. It's not too bad if we grab a few stars en route here. If we actually get enough, we can do the same trick with the middle ring, which we have to get eventually. Technically, you can jump over that middle ring, but it's so difficult, and trying for it, you're probably going to lose time instead of save time, so most Yoshers just run through it. Up and over. Sorry, Crispy, I let you down. I fluttered there. Try to get a perfect flutter up. Nope. Tried to land a perfect flutter up there to gain just a little bit of height, so we didn't have to take that platform to the left. That's okay. Minor time loss. So I'm going to do my normal stupid thing. I don't believe in buckets unless they prevent death. We're going to try to not use this bucket here. Ah, that's alright. I thought I could clear that. It would have been a sweet little save, but we just grabbed that middle ring, so it's worth going for. Because it's a very minor loss if we don't get it. Now surely he wouldn't be stupid enough to go for it again. No. I at least try to shoot the bucket, so if I know it's going to fail, I can just back up and shamefully take my bucket to safety. Alright. We got 3 of our 4 keys, let's get the last one. What do you do? Alright, we got all our keys, let's go to the boss. We got a couple doors to go through. Much like Al Harrington, I get buckets. I love you, chat. Never change. Alright. Now this is Marching Mild, aka Kirby, aka Marshmallow Butt. He's gonna, every time we ground slam into him, he's gonna split into more and more parts. So we try to optimize our ground slams to hit multiple parts at the same time. And if I do this right, we'll get a triple. So there's 1, split into 2. That's alright. Take a double. Nice. And a good ricochet for a decent fight. Moving right along to 4-5. 4-5, we're introduced to the Chomp Rock, which is a rock we're supposed to push around through the level, clear our obstacles, but no. To that we say no. There will be no chomping of the rocks today. To get a little boost out of our melon bug, they're like little rubber balls. They can actually propel us forward with a little extra speed. Shout out to I Got Bored for that shell jump strat. Oh, I agree with you, Unified Omega. This is the best Mario game. You know why it's the best Mario game? Because Mario's just a sub-character. At me. Alright, grab this shell here for maybe another shell jump. And we technically jumped on the shell, so it counts. What's the worst Mario game? Ooh, that's a good one. Probably Mario is Missing. Although I, for one, would like to learn more about King Kong on the Eiffel Tower. I like how it's like King Kong and the Empire State Building is actually part of Mario's Missing, like that's history. Yeah, you're a stupid crap. Hotel Mario. I haven't played it, but I'm aware of its existence. So I have to be aware of my egg count here. We have 2 eggs. I'm going to grab a third one at the start of the stage, and we're going to set up for, at the end of 4-7, a 1-frame trick that could save us 10 seconds in 4-8 by backstering a chicken. With a cleverly titled trick known as the Chicken Baxter. Alright, so we're gonna grab our third egg. We'll grab our chicken. They have some other name, but nobody cares. We call it chicken. We get 2 more eggs to fill up. Now there's all this like Yoshi science, something with sprite IDs, etc., etc. But just know that the things I do them with purpose. So cycle 1 egg. So now the next thing we got is an egg followed by the chicken. And we're gonna lock this in, fire it as soon as we see here, and we're gonna try to cancel. Didn't get it. We try to cancel our egg holding on the exact frame that we entered the ring. So, didn't quite get it. Do I run any other games? Yes, I do. I run Link to the Past. I have run Donkey Kong Country 2 in a previous life. I'm technically on the Super Metroid leaderboard. I briefly ran The Messenger. Excellent game if those who haven't played it. I also am looking for a new game to pick up speedrunning. I've been heavily looking at Blasphemy. It looked like a really fun game. Really good, like, Metroidvania-style game. So yeah, I might start picking up Blasphemy. Alright, so now we're gonna jump, spit the shell here. And And that shell actually gives us some invincibility frames so we can get through that spike and another little shell jump. Beautiful. Bucky O'Hare speedrunners. I actually have a Bucky O'Hare cart. That was kind of a tempting pick. And for Christmas, my brother gave me a Genesis. I was seriously considering picking up Vector Man. Oh, I'm not sure I made that. Any game I wish I could run but can't due to difficulty of ailments. I would say I'm not physically limited on any speed running. There are certain kinds of games that I don't particularly enjoy. I would never actually do a speed run of. Like, with the exception of Super Mario RPG, shouts to Pidge Zero, I don't typically enjoy RPG speed runs as a whole, so I would probably never speed run an RPG. With the exception of Super Mario RPG, because I think that's a fantastic speedrun. I have yet to dive into the world of 3D speedrunning. It's still kind of intimidating to me. But maybe one day. Alright, so we got our 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to ground slam while we're kind of inside his sprite, and that allows us to ground slam him early. And it also sets up a cool little visual thing that we like to call blast off on the 3rd hit. You're also going to see me ground slam on his head, because that gives me an extra egg. And blast off. 101.28 World 4. That's very decent. That's pretty decent. I wish Stardew Valley could... Stardew Valley is an intriguing speedrun. I've watched some of it, and Mr. Yamamoth, who did his Secret of Mana run earlier in this marathon, he was starting to learn how to speedrun it. It's pretty cool how they do that. I think it'd be a good candidate for GDQ. It was funny. Funny story about Stardew Valley. On my stream, aside from speedrunning, I do this thing I like to call my Gaming Gauntlet, where I have challenged myself to beat every game in my Steam library, because we all buy like 8,000 games from Steam sales, etc., etc. So I told myself, you know, it's kind of a waste of money. I want to actually beat every game that I own, but I let like my viewers pick the order in which I play them. And so I had Stardew Valley in my library for a long, long time, and it just never, like, I always saw like Harvest Moons and that. I was like, oh gosh, this looks like the most boring thing like ever. Why would anybody ever play this? And then somebody picked it and I played it, and I absolutely fell in love with the game. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful game. So if you haven't played Stardew Valley, highly recommend it. From somebody who is extremely skeptical of the genre. But anyway, so ice physics. Funny thing about ice physics in Yoshi's Island, you actually want to run on ice as much as possible. Because being on ice actually makes you run faster. So the more time you're actually running on the ice, the faster you're traveling. It's not significant, but any little bit helps. And we try to stay... I'm just constantly jumping when I'm in snow, because snow slows you down, ice speeds you up. So I'm constantly jumping to try and be in the snow as little as possible. Alright. Cut up to 5-2, another shorter level. For some reason, developers thought that the 2s of each world would be kind of on the shorter side. The swag ball. I should take the swag ball just for the lulz. Alright, shoot the tap. It's okay. Alright, grab the cloud. There is a non-cloud route, but it saves less than a second, so... Yeah. We're gonna take the nice, comfy, relaxing cloud and just enjoy the scenery. Relax. Be calm. Enjoy your cloud. Think happy thoughts. We're just gonna go Bob Ross on our cloud and think happy thoughts. Normally we're supposed to take all those ski lifts, but now we're just going to jump on penguins' heads and we're going to make it. Clouded Yoshi's Island, where's Tifa? If only, if only. Alright, 5-3 is where a lot of beginning players lose their runs, and some veteran players. We're gonna take the up route. It's very easy to die in many places on this stage, so... Again, we're gonna go up and over and try to run on the ice blocks as much as we can to keep speed. Yeah, this is a very dangerous stage. Oh, you hated the ski part? Funny enough, if you know exactly where to jump, the ski part is completely free. You only really need to jump like 3 times. So. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a little scary. That snowman almost ate my input. Okay, we're just gonna take this nice and easy. So, there are things that can happen in the game where the inputs on your controllers can just decide to not happen. If there's a little bit of lag going on the screen, if there's a lot of sprites happening, certain platforms will do like that when after you stand on them, descend. Sometimes those can eat your inputs because the ground isn't stable. There's many, many reasons, but it does sometimes happen. You'll push the button and just nothing happens. Alright, so ski section is simple. You just hit the first rock here. Now you don't even have to touch the controller. You jump this one. Oh, and you point to your death. And I jumped! I swear I jumped. I should have grabbed the ring. So, yeah, that part I was talking about, that's alright. I know you guys love this level so much, you just gotta see it again. I'm gonna blame my controller on that one, and you can't stop me.
That section's completely free, except for when it isn't.
Exactly. I do a little duck there because it's not always a guaranteed thing that both those spikes are going to get cleared out. It's just a little duck for safety. Oh no, we just... Oh, darn. Accidentally took that middle ring. What a... Oh. Shoot. Snaps finger. Second screen, you don't even need to touch the controller, but we do a little jump right there just to save some time. last screen, you technically only need to jump once, but a few speed optimizations. And you jump right into this bomb. Because funny enough, while Yoshi's rolling, he actually does not lose speed going up hills when Yoshi's skiing would. So we do take some intentional hits from the rocks for that reason. Alright, well. You know, that was absolutely perfect, aside from the horrible 2-minute lost death. Other than that, perfect. Exactly, retard. Completely free on the second try. Alright, now we come to the infamous 5-4. Which, where's the old one? This right here, 5-4, contains what, at least is regarded by some, especially myself, as the hardest thing we've ever had to do in a video game ever. Now, I haven't speedrun a ton of games in my career, and I would be interested to see how many people could find a harder skill-based trick. Which we will be getting there in a moment. So you remember how I talked about all that fluttering, perfect fluttering, etc., 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 where we can gain height or not lose height when we flutter? Well, that's going to come in very handy, because up ahead in this stage is an semi-auto scroll section where we're supposed to ride on top of a platform that's on a ghost head, and it takes quite a bit of time to get through that section, but with a lot of dedication, some very sore thumbs, and about 700 attempts, you too can learn to skip it. That's how many tries it took me the first time to learn this. About 700 attempts.
700 attempts is also known as completely free.
Exactly. Exactly. Completely free. Alright, here we go. Ooh, that's bad. Damn. Bonked. Fluttering was beautiful, I just bonked a little bit. I'm not used to those bats being quite up so high as they were, but it's okay. You know what we're missing? Clearly that egg was just weighing us down. We need to get rid of it. Too low. Don't worry, we got plenty of lives for attempts. And I'm a determined barbarian. Oh, shit. The thumb literally spasmed and I lost it. Sorry. Okay. Oh, kidding me. Be gone, cursed egg. Be gone. Oh my. Apparently, I just can't get under that platform today. It's all good. It's okay. What do you guys think? 3 more attempts and then we just ride the ghost? That's okay, because we only need 1 more attempt. See, I told you we only needed 1 attempt.
What's the old saying? We were just manipulating the RNG for the rest of the run.
Exactly. See, this guy gets it. Zero deaths, first try every time, free as can be. Now we have to fight a slug. So look at that heart. 1, 2, 3. Sure, why not? Alright. So we had done the first couple hits there. We were Sluggy's body spawns after, or when it's off screen, it's not technically spawned. It's not generated. It's not a sprite. But his heart is. So what we do is we time our movement and with our egg shot so that as soon as Sluggy's body becomes drawn by the game, the egg is already on top of the heart. Whew, well, that took forever. Alright, 5-5. Normally I would call 5-5 the hardest level in the game because it comes right after 5-4, and usually your heart's pounding like crazy after you get a good 5-4, but now we're fine. What's the worst that could happen? You know what we all need? We all just need a nice, comfy helicopter ride, and it comes only at the cost, low price of 1 second of time. I will gladly pay that price for a nice, comfy helicopter ride. I will be sipping my Volgoth blood wine, just staring off into the Goonies in the distance. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. See, isn't that worth the 1 second price of admission? Do girls like guys who play video games? Of course they do.
We absolutely do.
See? Alright, so we're gonna spit this Shy Guy right there, and get a little extended flutter. Let's see if we can get some swag here. Ah, almost to Baxter. That's okay. Girls like confident guys, absolutely. Nothing says confidence like speedrunning. So therefore, logically, girls will absolutely love speedrun guys, and vice versa. So if you find your love life a little lacking, if you need to spice things up, pick up speedrunning. Kolthor guarantees success. Kolthor does not actually guarantee success. Yo, do I detect a mediocre gamer in chat? What is up, dude? Get out of here, chicken mama. Get out of here. Save the children. Save the chicken children. Get out of this den of baseball bats in the clouds. You don't want to be here. I've got fatherhood instincts now. I gotta save the children. That's what this whole game has been preparing me for fatherhood. I realized it later, but all my years of speedrunning this game has just prepared me for fatherhood. The sound of screaming children has no effect on me. And when I take a random hit and my kid flies away in a bubble, I always extend my tongue as far as it will go to retrieve him. Sure, the other parents look at me a little strangely, but I do it for the children. Go, chicken mama! Be free! Take your child and be safe. So we're almost through the auto-scroll portion of this stage. There's a non-auto-scroll portion. Oh wait, yeah, you're like it too. So when we exit the screen, we need to be mindful of our egg count. We want 1 egg, and 1 egg only. Because there's going to be some Shy Guys that need to pop out of pipes. A little bit of enemy position manipulation. And having one egg just optimizes our chances of things going correctly. Oh man, I took that middle ring. Oh shoot. Yeah. Oh no. There's our Shy Guy. Showed up a few frames late, that's okay. Kill these guys out, get rid of some lag. If you don't kill those piranha plants, it's so laggy. And good. Do clouds taste like candy? Only the clouds in 1741 and 63. Those clouds are special. Now in 5-7, we get to do something insane. We go left. But it's okay. I know your hearts are palpitating, your bowels are loosening, but it's okay. Just don't worry. We're gonna go right. See, now we're gonna head right. Everybody, calm down. Things are fine. Things are back to normal. All is good. Heading right again. It's okay. It was only for a brief moment. If I can not mess this up in 3. Cool. I've had a little trouble with that in practice, but we're good. Is the penguin my friend or my enemy? Is the penguin my friend or my enemy? Either. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up a little bit, and 5. Wunderbar. Now, T-Digger raises an interesting dilemma. Who put these pipes around if Mario wasn't born yet? Now, does that imply that Mario is the architect of the entire pipe structure of the Mushroom Kingdom? Or does he merely maintain it? Is there a whole generation of plumbers before him that erected the pipe structures? Is Mario but one plumber of many? Is he truly the only plumber of the Mushroom Kingdom? Okay. Bouncing on bullet bills. So in this boss stage, we will be facing Raphael the Raven. He is the most RNG of the bosses by far. Because when he moves, okay, kind of like the little Raphaels. He can move left, he can move right, he could stop in random places. So, ideally, we want him to go left when we face him. We want him to go left and give us no sparks and happy times ahead. So I need everybody to command Raphael to go left. Don't ask him politely. Don't blessed RNG him. I need like swift rages to just command him to go left. Any sort of emote weaponry is highly effective. Alright, let's watch the eyes. Where are you going? Go left, Raph. Go left. You went right. Alright, well, don't stop. And you... Literally the worst RNG possible. It's about a 12% chance of him doing... What? What was that? I've never seen him stop after traveling such a short distance before. I've literally never... I know that's like the GDQ meme, but I've literally never seen that happen. He went like 2 inches and then stopped. He went 2 inches and stopped. That was strange. There is like a 1 in 250 some chance that he doesn't move anywhere at the start of the fight, but I've never seen that happen. It's never happened to me. It has happened to other runners, but it's never personally happened to me in all the runs I've done. Now I'm a true runner. Oh, feels good, man. Feels good. Alright, this is the longest world transition, so sometimes you'll see 100% runners do the classic bathroom strats during this world transition, because it takes almost a minute. So I was looking at the GDQ schedule, the CGDQ schedule, look at estimated times for all the games, and you know what I realized, chat? I realized that Yoshi's Island is the longest non-RPG on the list. And that right there explains one of the key difficulties of this game, is its sheer length. That's that coming. Most platformers you see on the list are like maybe like 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Trying to do this level of precision movement for almost 2 hours is insanely difficult. Alright, we gotta keep an eye out on the shadows. Normally we can stay ahead of the chomps here, but once in a while we get some bad RNG, and RNG does not seem to be in our favor today, so we need to keep extra sharp with that. I knew it, I saw him coming. Length is okay, but girth is also important. I suppose he has a point. No, bad baby. Go back to daddy. You don't go running off on your own. You don't know where that tap-tap's been. No. Do not put your hand in that. These and other such wonderful phrases you can learn by simply having a child. Things like, where did you find that? And what is that on your hand? Could be yours. For a low, low, low price of parenthood. Shoot through some foam, tongue clip through Kung Fu. Neo may know Kung Fu, but Yoshi has tone. Clearly that's superior. Fireball. Eat the rat. Goodbye, rat. Try to go put over this. Okay. Shout out to the developers for not putting ceilings anywhere. Are there any 50% discounts for this Parenthood game I've been hearing about? No. No, if you try to get the discount, it actually reverses and costs double. I recommend vanilla Parenthood. Get that 1.0 version. Spinning logs. Let's go. Oh, and the post jumps. Very tight window to jump between the little bouncy ball and the posts. Saving frames. And we come to our last and final fuzzy stage, and we're just gonna barrage some eggs and... Good, that's not bad. One fuzzy will take it. Push it, rock, push it, rock, push it, rock. I know there's some debate whether running into that log and having it fling you upwards is faster, or just fluttering over the thing. Really need to look into that. we have yet to avoid fuzzies on any of the fuzzy stages. Apparently Yoshi has a problem. Hashtag Yoshi, get help, please. Alright, coming into 6-4. Now the important thing, even though it seems like pretty straightforward knowledge, keep going on this section. All these platforms, like, in order to do it optimally, you just need to, like, not stop moving. Because the platform's cycle just keeps going whether or not you see them or not. So the ideal place for them to be is the place where they end up if you don't get halted or slowed down by anything. Alright, so the next room is another Salvo the Slime, our favorite boss from World 1. There's lots of different ways to fight him, but I find, if you don't mess it up this way, to be the most... Of course you get away with, like, 1 health. Where are you at? Where are you at? Literally 1 health. Oh, I hate you so much. Perish in flames! Warlords of High School. Alright, need to grab an extra egg there. We're gonna need it for Tap Tap. Up and over the wall. Oh, did I say up and over the wall? I meant up and over the wall. And now we come to what used to be the hardest trick in the game. Probably, whoa, back when this game was run, gosh, how many years ago? Back in Strihex's days of speedrunning, aka forever ago. This used to be the hardest trick in the game, Lava Skip. It only saves about 2 seconds, and that's about 17-ish flutters across. Now, there's a couple ways you can fight this guy. He might seem tough, but if you have 5 eggs, you can literally just stand still exactly where you are, shoot the eggs, and you will kill him. But a little minor movement, you can do it in 4. Easy. Alright. We come to the final leg of our journey. So let's start things off with an epically long and boring auto-scroller. First time Germany, last time Poland. Oh, fun story, if you have the Japanese 1.0 version. Those ghost guys come out of the pipes have a fun little glitch in them. You grab them before they jump out, and they just fly straight when you spin. And of course, naturally, if you've been watching this marathon this whole time, you probably know we do this in the JP Japanese language because it's quicker. Less text to scroll, less screens to scroll to text. So. Pretty standard stuff. That's about the only reason. That glitch with the ghost guys coming out of the pipes is the only unique glitch to the Japanese version that's not in the US. But everything else is in the US version. Yeah, like I said, there's no JP-specific tricks. The only reason to have the JP card is because it saves you about 7 seconds of text time. So technically, you don't really need a JP card to be highly competitive in this game. 7-second difference, you could definitely get world record without it, so work with what you got. That's what my mom always said. Now, coming up, there is a trick that someday I need to learn, where we could actually, towards the very end, we could use one of those chomp rocks and actually push us into the exit about 2 seconds sooner than the screen would normally allow us to. But I'm not very good at that trick, and every time I try it, I die. So I don't feel like redoing the whole auto-scroll section, so I won't be attempting that today. But coming up on the next screen is going to be a one-frame trick that we're going to use to save ourselves a good chunk of time. In Yoshi's Island, you could do what's called a perfect jump, which is different than a perfect flutter. On the exact frame Yoshi lands on the ground, if you time your button pressing, the exact frame Yoshi lands on the ground, Yoshi will jump, but the game will not register Yoshi as having landed on the ground. So some odd things happen with that, most notably the camera. The camera will not pan up to where Yoshi is, because it doesn't think Yoshi's landed on the ground yet. So we can use that to skip an auto-scroll trigger, which doesn't load until the camera pans up. So normally this right here would be another auto-scroll section. But because of a little camera manipulation with a frame-perfect trick, we can skip it. And just run through it like normal. And now we're coming up to 6-6, which has a double frame-perfect trick. Technically it's optional, but it saves 8 seconds if you do it on the first try, and I always go for it, called Rockless. There's a little key behind a wall, but we can actually clip Yoshi's tongue into it and grab the key without having to push a rock around and travel an excessively long area. So normally we'd use a rock to push ourselves forward. Oh boy, this is sketchy. Whew. Got it. It's scarier when you get it a little bit the first time and then you have to course correct, because it could very easily fly the opposite direction and then you're screwed and you have to take the long, shameful way. Fortunately, we were able to course correct a little bit. And we got it. Nice. 2 more to go. 6-7 is a nice fun little level. There's lots of speed-running platforms that just jet you across the stage. But most notably, on the second screen is a trick that we have yet to see anybody land in a run. People have done it in practice, and people have done it on the IL, but nobody's done it in a run. So we're going to attempt it. At worst we lose is 20 seconds for attempting it, but it's worth it, because when we get in a run, that is just in giant amounts of street cred that we cash in later for sorts of like bouncy ball prizes. It's kind of like an arcade. You trade in your street cred for all sorts of cool prizes. So we really need those tickets. So I promised my wife I'd get her that bag of whistles that she's always wanted. But this trick is epically hard because it is frame perfect. It's reliant on your speed, your position. And we're just gonna grab this guy just in case. Just in case. So much like we did in 1-2, where we used a little flower guy to jump over a wall with an extended flutter, we're going to be doing kind of the same thing with a Sniffit. Sniffit, though, is a little tougher, but it's the same idea. Oh! That was almost it. So we took a hit there. Whoa. Baby. Come here. Baby. You come to Dad. But we took a hit there. That meant that we spit it at the correct time, and his hitbox was activated. But we probably weren't going fast enough. Just a little too slow, possibly, to get the bounce off of him. So that was really close. You know what? The background does kind of look like Van Gogh. Get in your hole, Tap Tap. You belong there. And we're going to try a little screen manipulation here, just so we get the optimal roll on an upcoming platform wheel that's coming up. Not quite optimal, but good enough. And we say hello and goodbye to our last instance of Super Baby Mario. And we just use that to gate hack. So yeah, we're gonna be a little behind estimate. Might have had a few deaths in 5-4. 2, 3, 5, whatever it was. So I'm deeply sorry for making you all have to wait for Pidge, but you'll just have to get extra excited for her when she does come on.
Nothing wrong with a little bit more Barbarian.
Exactly. So if you just stay right below that coin line, you never have to run into a skeleton Goonie. Also guaranteed door 4. Easy. Door 4 is always the one you want to go for. If you get door 3, you might as well just Simpuku and just retry, because it's going to take you too long to get through it. Door 1 is probably the second best one you can get, but door 4 is optimal. Even if you have to stand underneath it and just patiently aim your egg, it's worth it. So now it's just a last little auto-scroller here with Kamek. Funny story about Kamek, even when he's gone, his sprite is still technically there. You can tell because Yoshi is just tonguing and seemingly hitting nothing, but it's like he's hitting a wall. Fun story. With the Shy Guys on the Super FX2 chip, when you spit them, you'll notice the Shy Guys spin when they roll. Like they rotate as you spit them. Well, that actually takes up a fair amount of processing power. And most notoriously, one of our beloved runners, _Tricks, he was doing this level 100% category, and he spit one of the Shy Guys towards the end here. He actually despawned the boss door and soft-locked himself. Whoa. I want to ride the green donkey. Preferred run, TIA engaged. This has always been, I think, one of the coolest boss fights in video game history. The mechanics completely change. Instead of shooting your eggs horizontally, you're now shooting them on a different axis. You're shooting them into the distance to hit Bowser. You just gotta wait for the eggs to kind of fly up to you. They're conveniently in cloud on... Oh, sorry, not cloud. Balloons. Oh, sorry. Ouch. GG. Now timer stops on the last text box. Time. 155 flat. Yeah. Oh, well. Well, that, everybody, is Yoshi's Island. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the GDQ staff for having me. Let's sit back and enjoy this, probably my favorite track of the game, the ending credits music. So thank you all again. I hope you had fun. And just know, the voice is real.
Thank you so much, Colthor. We are going to go ahead and start getting geared up for our final run of the night, which is Super Mario RPG run by Pidge01. So we're going to get that set up. And in the meantime, I'm going to take you to a short break. But thank you again one more time, Colthor. It was fantastic.
My pleasure.